and reviews. You know
Yeah,
how we
right.
do. We
Yes.
back. We back
Yes.
like we never left.
It's the home of hip hop news and cultural commentary, Bob. So we got to check back in
Yeah,
with your boy,
got to.
YNW Melly, on what is this, day 12?
Yep, day 12. Day
When is this
12.
shit gonna be over? It feels like this been forever going on, and they had a whole week blocked out.
Yeah.
Last time we were talking about Melly, me and you, I don't know if we talked about it on camera, but the judge had denied the motion for the jury to see the vehicle that the
Yeah.
decedents were
Hmm.
killed in that unfortunate night.
Yeah.
So far, we've seen the medical examiner testify, the ballistics expert testify. We saw Juvie's mom testify. We've seen a gang expert testify. We've seen the T-Mobile expert testify in this
Right.
case where the prosecution is trying to prove that YNW Melly murdered two of his best friends and staged it to look like a
Mm.
drive-by. On day 12, we have YNW Melly's friend testifying that
Hmm.
YNW Melly changed clothes after the murder at Fredo Bang's house.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a gentleman by the name of Trevion Glass. Let me pull up Trevion. That's Trevion Glass right there. We're gonna play a clip of his testimony.
Right.
Um, this guy, they was talking about him being missing for years, and now he shows up
He
at
back.
court. But there's a good reason for that. He was saying that if he didn't testify, he was going to go back to jail because he recently caught a little charge. How
Right.
you feel about that? Like, somebody not wanting to testify and they get dragged in there with the threat of going to jail. Is that some kind of witness intimidation on the part of the
Conflict of
prosecution?
interest. Yeah, conflict of interest. I see that. Right. If you're gonna intimidate me to do that, so I may need to say what you want me to say then. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what else can happen.
I don't know if conflict of interest is the right term to use for that, but it does show that maybe this guy is not going to be the best witness, being that he doesn't want to be there. He was clearly annoyed by both the defense and the prosecution. He had a little attitude. He cracked a joke one time. He said he should have smoked weed before he came in to testify because they was trying to say, they wanted to bring up his weed use to say that that could be a reason why he doesn't recollect things. What do you feel about that?
No, I mean, I don't know. My memory been pretty good. I ain't been like
That's
crazy,
what I'm trying to say.
but
That to me seemed like the defense was desperate when they tried to play that angle. Anyway,
right.
Trevion Glass testified that he knew Thomas, one of the decedents, fancy word for saying one of the dead people. Uh, he knew him for over a decade, and he knew Williams for a couple years. He said that they were together at the New Era recording studio in Fort Lauderdale before the murders. He said that they were supposed to have a 12-hour session. Didn't go that way because they got tired. I could I could speak to that experience. When people go to the studio to record, a lot of times it don't be a lot of productive shit going on. It might just be one of those nights where y'all just in there drinking, smoking, trying to catch a vibe. Nothing don't really come.
Hmm.
Dude out of Vero Beach, though, he said he left the studio in a red Mitsubishi with three others, and they went to Melly's house where he fell asleep on a bedroom in the second floor. He said he got woke up by several phone calls about his friends being involved in the shooting. He rushed to the hospital. After he got the news that his friends were dead, he said that they left and went to Fredo Bang's house where he saw Melly. The surveillance video shows, Melly and the two other guys getting in the car. Uh,
Mm.
we know all of that already, but the prosecution is really trying to lay the foundation for all of that. So they got to go over things over and over again. And I feel like this guy kind of put some things in perspective. He also talked about, uh, he put a new paint job on things when he talked about the relationship between Fredo Bang and Melly. They even asked him, has he ever seen Melly with a gun? They objected. for that. I guess they didn't ask him. They asked him, did he see 100K track with a gun? And he answered, possibly. How you feel about that? Him being on the stand to testify. We talk about Melly. They asked him if he ever seen 100K track with a gun. He didn't say no. He didn't say yeah. He said possibly.
Right. It's like if you know your answers is gonna let us. We're gonna think whose side are you on, right? So
Yeah.
that possibly is kind of you saying something to keep you right in the middle. It's like we don't know where you standing, but you like, I don't know. You might as well plead the fifth instead of even going up there playing with them people. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
the streets ain't gonna like that. Is
No,
what
not
I'm
at
gonna
all.
tell you. You know what I'm saying? The streets is not gonna like that. Especially, I know the G Sean Bloods ain't gonna like that. Whatever anybody having to be having to do with being affiliated with some type of organization, he really shouldn't be testifying at all. They could go for a lot of people. I don't know if this guy got family on the streets or whatever. Um, I am sensitive to the fact that he want to stay out of jail and maybe he could just say a little something. But
Right.
as far as the streets are concerned, there's no way that he could have got out of this and looked good. It looks like he was trying to conceal his identity while he was on the stand. They had a laptop right in his face. He said it had something to do with one of his eyes being not right, but I don't really believe that. I think he just don't want to be on Front Street telling. But eventually, we got to see his whole face. I'm gonna play a little bit of his testimony right here, courtesy of WPLG Local 10. I got some questions to ask you about at the end too, so y'all stay tuned for that. But let me play this little clip.
Okay. Safe to say that your phone was getting a lot of phone calls, blowing up.
Yes. What?
So essentially what he was saying there is he woke up because he was getting phone call after phone call after phone call, and it was people calling to tell him his friends had been shot. By the time he got to the hospital, they were already passed away. Another interesting thing he mentioned was that when he saw Melly soon afterward, he was in different clothes than he had seen him just hours earlier. Now, he is the second to last witness for the state. The state expected to call their final witness after lunch. Unclear if they're going to have time to wrap up today. They did tell me it was going to be a bit of a longer process with this witness, but they should be resting their case sometime soon. Then it will be the defense's turn to put on their case. Melly, if he's eventually convicted, could face the death penalty in this case.
Yeah, I thought it was going to play a little bit more. Here goes that one little clip I was telling you about where he mentions his marijuana usage. I'll play just a little bit, the end of his testimony, so you can get a little idea of his demeanor. I'll back it up a couple seconds.
Track.
Possibly.
Oh, that's where he just asked about track. I'll back it up a little bit more.
Possibly.
Possibly. I want you to hear the question.
Have you ever seen track with a gun?
Possibly. Yes. Maybe. Maybe so.
You don't know of any friction between Melly and Anthony Davis at any time, Anthony Williams at any time.
I know.
And you don't know of any friction between Melly and Christopher Thomas at any time.
I know.
And you don't know of any friction that occurred at the studio that night that would cause anybody to get murdered.
Same.
You didn't see any friction at the studio that night of any magnitude?
I did.
You did?
I didn't.
Okay, you did. With respect to your daily marijuana regimen, did you smoke before you came here today?
I did not.
I have nothing. Thank you.
I should
have. Boy, say he should have burnt one before he went to try. You know what I'm saying? To testify. One of the they've been trying to prove that it's Melly's phone. They also played a video of YNW Melly saying that he's going to turn himself in. He's doing the split personality thing too. He's like, "This is Melvin," with a little funny voice. But one thing that I thought that was interesting, the judge said that he wants to the defense was saying that they shouldn't even be allowed to play that little clip of YNW Melly talking because he used the word. It rhymes with backers, starts with a CR, used to refer to white people. The judge didn't want him to use that term. Or the defense didn't want them to play the video because they felt like Melly using that term would prejudice the jury and cause them to. So the judge was like, okay, y'all could play it, but take that one little word out. So one thing I like about the judge that I haven't seen a lot of people mention is the judge, he don't let the state run his courtroom. He seemed like he fair, you know. He checking both sides, keeping it fair and even. So
that's dope.
One thing I want to ask you: if Melly's found innocent, how do you think this will affect YNW Portland?
Yeah, I think if Melly's found innocent, I mean, it's still, you got to prove evidence on Portland too. You're gonna have to prove, you know, he shot. You're gonna have to have. It's gonna have to add up, but it's not gonna look too good for him. But I think they cool. I seen YNW Melly. He looked
with
out
all
for his
due
video.
respect. With all due respect, Mr. Watergod, the question is, if Melly's found innocent, how will this affect Portland? They might be cool. It looks like they cool. It's a lot of niggas who seem like they cool and then they end up telling on them. How many cases have we seen cool niggas telling on niggas they cool with? Allegedly Rollo, allegedly Meech, allegedly 03 Greedo, allegedly Finesse 2 times. So I'm just asking, what do you think is going to happen?
What's gonna happen? He's gonna have to beat his trial. I don't think he's gonna be able to just tell and be like he did it, but maybe he could. Maybe after he's innocent. Listen, I get what you're saying. Maybe after he's innocent, he may could just be like, yeah, look, it wasn't me, it was him, but he's already innocent, so you can't. I don't know how that works. Yeah,
I'm hearing you, and I totally disagree. I think if YNW Melly beats this, it's even worse for Portland because at least YNW Melly could blame it on Portland. Somebody got to snitch. Somebody got to snitch at this point. One of them is going to fold. I don't think they're going to both stay solid. And if YNW Melly beats it, they can't say that YNW Melly did it. Portland won't be able to blame it on Melly. You get what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
When you take away all the other possibilities or you start canceling out possibilities, it's about what you left with. So if there's nobody else,
somebody got to get banned. So you basically saying somebody gonna get banned. That's what you saying. You saying both of them can't beat the case.
No way both of them are gonna beat it. But if YNW Melly pulls this off, Portland's done. That's my perception of what's going on. If Melly didn't do this, then where was he when all of this was going on?
Right. Was he in the back seat?
Yeah, like, I mean, that's what they're saying. He's saying, I don't know. His story don't make sense to me. I think he's bad. But have you ever thought about that? Like, what if he wasn't in the car? Where was he?
Well, you just said he was at what's his name? What's the boy house?
No, he ended up getting there after the fact. You know what I'm saying?
The fact, right.
He wasn't there the whole time. So
right.
Why doesn't anybody have anything to corroborate you being somewhere else, anywhere else? Where the fuck? I mean to say that, but where was he? That's what the part of the story that don't make sense to me. You don't know either, right?
No.
I mean, I thought maybe we could speculate or whatever. One last question I want for you before we get out of here. We'll talk about what we learned. Will there be backlash for this witness?
I mean, he ain't from Broward. I mean, he's from Vero. He's from Broward.
He's from Vero Beach.
Vero Beach, yeah.
He ended up in a Lauderdale studio, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the streets ain't gonna like that, man. I mean, the streets gonna ask some questions like, bro, who you with? You with the defense? Or you with the, like, what's going on? Why you ain't plead the fifth? Like, this is the questions I would ask him.
Yeah,
why didn't you plead the fifth? Why would you testify and be a famous and have your face out here?
Because he didn't want to go to jail. He out on bond.
Oh yeah, you out on bond. Damn, but still, man. Sometimes
I know that ain't good enough for the streets.
That's not good enough. I don't know what you do for a career, but if you in the rap industry,
listen, the streets gonna be like, well, then you go to jail, nigga. What you mean? You out here thugging? You feel me? Like, yo, we gotta go to jail sometime. What you mean? What you scared to go to jail? That's how they gonna look at it, cuz. That ain't a reason to tell. When has I ain't want to go to jail be a reason not to tell? That's what you signed up for, cuz you go to jail and you tell them, get me to the jailhouse before they start serving dental. I'm trying to catch dental, man. Get me there quick. I don't got nothing to say to you. So, but y'all type in, y'all let us know how you feel in the comments. We really appreciate that. It's some of y'all that's really been showing off in the comments, man. We got to shout y'all out, man. We try to get them in the next time because I don't even know off the top of my head. But if you like what you hear, like and share. Join the tribe by pressing subscribe, and that's a free way that you can support a Black-owned business. A lot of these hip-hop publications y'all be following don't even really be owned by us, ain't for us. So help out the little guys, you know what I'm saying? Guys, you can't hate on that.
So hey, look, we're gonna catch y'all in the next one. We'll holler at you in the comments.
Yeah.